Hello, thank you for joining me. My name's Josh. I'm a designer here at Sizzix, and today I'm going to be talking you through texture roll. Now, what is texture roll? How is it different from just normal cardstock? Well, it's all about the durability and the actual texture. That's why they call it texture roll. The actual texture on the surface of the card here. So first, I'd like to just talk through some of the different effects we have across our range. Here we have this matte white texture roll here. We've got the metallics, so we've got the rose gold, the gold and the silver effects. We've got this lovely cork effect texture roll here. The grey matte, which is my favourite. I absolutely love this. I'm going to be using it in a make later on in this video. And then we have the tan texture roll. Now this is matte as well. So what is the difference between texture roll and card? Well, the texture roll is really durable. It's something that you can scrunch up. It's really difficult to tear, and it's just one of those more kind of heavyweight materials that are a fantastic medium to give you the durability and dimension of thicker materials while still being able to access our whole range of dies. So it's not just big dies that you can use with this stuff, you can cut it with thinlits as well, and even some of our really tiny thinlits, just like this Fallen Hearts die by Tim Holtz that I'm going to be using later on today to cut some of the texture roll. So it gives you that tiny bit of extra dimension than card as well. So here is, I'll move this stuff out the way first. So here is a piece of texture roll that I've cut. So if I bring it up to the camera there, you can see that it's not as glossy as the mirror card because we've got that lovely texture. This is the gold. Now, look what happens when I scrunch it up. So, I'm going to scrunch it up nice and tight. I'm going to twist it as well. Now, if this was card, it would have lost its integrity and torn by now. You can also get this wet and it's not going to lose its integrity. So for mixed media makes, this is such a winner because you get, just look at that effect there. It's almost like a leather effect. Absolutely lovely. Now, you can do the same thing with the matte card, and if I just show you that, the light will just pick up those fantastic little creases, and it really does look like leather, and it acts like leather as well. So you can twist it, curl it up. It's really difficult to tear. And because of the durability, you can also use it with sewing techniques. So you can stitch it, which is also a really fantastic thing about this material. I'm going to go through some of the projects that the designers at Sizzix have used the texture roll to make. Now this is the matte white. Now look at that, because you can stitch it, look at this stitched edge around here. It's not going to tear where the holes are, and you can actually use it like fabric because it's so durable. So this is a nice case for anything really. I've used it as a pencil holder. Now, another great thing about it is just how well it embosses. Now this embossing folder hasn't shown it to its best. I'm going to emboss it later on this video and you will just see how well the detail comes out in the emboss. Because the material's more robust, it doesn't tear. You don't have to spray it with water to loosen up the fibres like you do with cardstock, and there's no worry of the really fine detail embosses tearing the paper or just wearing it like card does sometimes. Now, so that's the emboss one there, and again we've got the stitched edge around the side there. It can just be used for lovely home decor pieces. Now here's an emboss that you can see. That's the tan. And that's just once through an embossing machine. And we've also been able to, because these, the tan and the cork and the white, they're all matte surfaces, which means that they will take to the ink as well, which is another great thing about it. Now, we use it a lot, so here's how we've used that kind of scrunched up, leathery technique to create a journal cover here. Now, we use this stuff a lot for journal covers because it's so robust and durable. That's the key word at the minute with this product. It's such a fantastic thing to work with, but it's not just that. So far we've gone over the fact you can still die cut it with thin lit dies. It's not limiting like leather to big dies, you know, leather, plastic, vellum, things like that. They are limited to just our kind of big, broad shapes that you get with the big dies. Well, you can use those little intricate thin lit dies on this, and that's just really special. So, journal covers, and here we've used the cork texture roll to make a little wallet. How lovely is that? Absolutely brilliant. And we've still got that cork effect there. Do you know what? I've never tried crinkling up the cork, but I am going to. So that's fantastic there again. So the theme here seems to be you can stitch it. We make a lot of more robust things. If there was anything that you were making for the outdoors and you wanted die cut pieces on it, you could use this stuff because it's water resistant. The water's not going to make sort of decrease the integrity of it. So onto my make. This is what I'm going to be making for you. It's just a Christmas card. And the reason I chose this make was because I wanted to show you that you can just use it like card as well. So I'm going to be using some of the grey matte texture roll here. All of the texture roll is just as durable. So the mirror and the matte, they're all the same. They're really strong. So here I've cut this square of the grey matte texture roll. I'm going to show you how this embosses now. Now I've chosen the engraved 3D embossing folder from chapter 4. I'm not going to spray it, as I say. I'm just going to put it through here like this. You know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to ink it. So. Now this is just to show you how well the ink takes to this now. I'll bring it up to the camera once I've inked. I've chosen some nice Christmassy colours. I might just use a little bit of scrap paper here, and I'm going to come in with some of this nice green colour. So just look how the ink takes to it. There we go. Green on one side. Chosen a nice blue. This is the broken china. These are the Tim Holtz distress oxides. And then I'm using a distress ink on one. And then finally I'm just going to use a bit of this red in these corners here. So it's a Christmas themed card. I've just tried to keep it, the colours a bit more festive. Now just look how well the ink has taken to that matte surface here. And now with that and just how well this material embosses, you're onto a winner. Layer up the Big Shot machine. I'm going to add that down here, just choosing the place that I want to frame with my square of texture roll. And I'll just bring it back. And look at this. How lovely is that? And then if you chose to, because the emboss is so brilliant with one of these kind of detailed embossing folders, if you just chose to use a bit of gilding wax, you could really highlight some of those areas. But just look how well that has embossed. Nothing embosses like texture roll. So, the next thing I wanted to show you is just, because it's a bit thicker, it's thicker than our most cardstocks, it's gonna give itself dimension, which is great. So we're not using the 3D foam tape with this one because it's already got enough dimension as it is just being stuck down. So just hold that while the glue dries. Okay, you'll put that down on top of it while I prepare my next part. So I've pre-made these present elements. And they're just going to be added to the front. Like so. Ooh. Now, the ribbon on these elements, do you know what, it might help to add some glue. The ribbon on these elements, they have also been cut from the texture roll. So I'll bring that up to the camera in a second and I'll just show you how kind of delicate these die cut pieces are that we've cut from this really robust material. There's another one. And finally, I've used a little bit of 3D foam tape with this one here. Just push that down. And there we are. So just have a look at that. Lovely Christmas card. And as I say, these really thin ribbon elements here, these have been made using the texture roll there. So even though you can't rip it and it's all really durable and fantastic like that, you can still keep it smooth if you want, and you can just cut these tiny little elements from it. So it's like having a material that should only be cut by bigs, but it's absolutely fine being cut with our thin lit dies, which just opens up a world of opportunity. So the next thing I would like to show you, I have over here some gold texture roll, and I'm going to give you an example of how well it cuts. I'll just snip it off with my scissors. Snip a little bit off the side here. Now, as I said earlier, I'm going to be using this Fallen Hearts die by Tim Holtz. So I'll bring in my big shot machine. Now watch how well this cuts these tiny little heart elements. I'm going to sandwich it up, my die on top. And then I'm just going to run it through the machine. Now I will run it through twice. And look at that. So all these bits can just be flicked out. Look at how well it's cut that really durable material. Now, what I can do next with this is just scrunch that up. So it's not, if this was card, scrunching it up like this would ruin it. But it's not card. I'll just move that out. Also, you could use these tiny little die cut hearts there for anything, and they've got that added dimension, which is also great. And then they are coming through there, need poking out, so that's lovely. So now, when I open this, this is what it looks like. And this could be used on the front of a card, and I'm going to show you a technique now. All I'm going to do is put it on my machine, sandwich it up just between the two plates, because this is just to flatten it out again, ready to use on a card, and then I'm just going to roll it through the machine. And just like that, it's flat again, but just look at the effect. So that's a flat card element, texture roll, sorry, with all those lovely leathery wrinkles in there, but it's still flat, just from running it through that machine, enough to put on a card front, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'll just move the machine out of the way. Now I'm going to back it on here, just so that some of that pink comes through. Like so. And then that is ready once the glue sets. That's ready to put on our card. I'll just add a little tiny bit more glue there to the corner. And look at this. Now that's so special, and you can only kind of achieve that with this texture roll, because you're able to scrunch it up, just be really hard on it, and then just open it back up and it's just still durable and ready to use. And I've just flattened that with the machine there. So all I'm going to do, a little bit of glue on my prepared card element here, and then I've taken one of my favourite stamps to use at the moment, and that is from the Make-A-Wish set. Here, I'm just going to use the lid there to stamp that, and there we have a lovely card on its own. And look at the way it catches the light. Fantastic. Okay, so that is texture roll. I'll just bring them back onto the screen just to show you all the different ranges, some of the different ranges that we have. So again, we've got these lovely matte versions, and then we've got these shiny versions as well, and then that cork. Do you know, I haven't worked with the cork enough, but when I see makes like this, it makes me want to just use this all day. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So I've had so much fun kind of playing around with it and learning how to use it, that it's just become something now that we use every day in the design room. But we just thought it'd be great to provide a bit of education on it. So just to go over the fantastic qualities of this material again, you can stitch it, it's durable, you get the best of both worlds when it comes to wanting a durable material that you can still cut with thin-lit dies. It's a great way to access all of the whole catalogue of Sizzix dies. You're not just limited to the Biggs dies. The embossing that you can get with this material, that quality of emboss, is like nothing I have ever seen before. And yeah, it's just a really nice, robust, but still delicate thing to work with. And the way that it can cut these tiny thin-lit dies, I'm just so impressed. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.